Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
And colleagues, family of UGHE, you're all very welcome in this space at this time. We're with Joe Rattigan, Chair of the Board of Directors of the University, who's also representing the Chancellor, Dr. Jim Kim, and with Nadine Karema, the Executive Director of IMB. We also have senior leadership from 1PAH. Joel Unbaligi is with us. Joel, great to have you back. And other members of the wider PIH community, way beyond UGHE. My name's Phil Cotton. I'm Vice Chancellor of the University of Global Health Equity, and therefore one of the most privileged human beings on this planet. And my task really is to welcome you. Now, many of you know this place. Many of you have worked on this place and have worked with the contractors on this place and have worked tirelessly to bring us to this position. And many of you will, I think, also benefit from this great building. You may well be sleeping here on your next visit. And so today we're going to officially unveil this building, inaugurate this building. And then we're going to take you on a guided tour of the building to show you what it is that's been completed as a result of the ongoing, continuing support of Bill and Joyce Cummings and their unending generosity to us as a community. And there'll be an opportunity for other people to go on a wider tour of the campus, should you want that, should you wish that. I just want to pay tribute to our team here. We have so many people from UGHE here, from procurement, from infrastructure, from security, from so many of the teams that actually make things happen for this university. People like Siobhan, Abebe, and myself are the people who rely so heavily on the campus operations teams and other teams to make things happen in the university, and we're deeply grateful to you. At this point, I'm going to hand over to Abebe, who's Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and Research in the university. And Abebe is just going to, because he's been around for such a long time in the community of the university, just give us some of the background to this building. Abebe.
Thank you very much, Phil. As you all know, pretty but surely all know, the partnerships between the Cummings Foundation, Bill and Joyce, Harvard Medical School, and UGHE is not new. And that's the main reason that Cummings decided to fund the construction of his entire campus. And we're very grateful for their contribution. When Paul left us in 2022, there were conversations between the Cummings, the UGHE, and HMS. Paul has been the glue that brought these three institutions together. He was the center where UGHE, HMS, and his foundation go together. Now that glue suddenly left us. How do we make sure the legacy goes on? How do we make sure that partnership with HMS that led to the creation of UGH, the establishment of the School of Medicine and the several programs, the cloning of the MGHD program that was started at Harvard to be started here? How can that continue? So the Cummings Foundation were very generous to think about all-farmer collaborative, substantial amount of funding split between HMS and UGHE for 10 years. The sole purpose of this funding is to augment what was happening between HMS and UGHE. Several discussions were had, and we envisioned by the time the collaborative is launched, UGHE will be a center of attention for academics, research, fellowships, collaboratives, and we'll be receiving a lot of international partners. By then, the acting Vice Chancellor was Dr. Joe. Please join me in giving him one round of applause.
For his
is unbelievable support for the securing of this collaborative funding and the start of this league. Now, when we said, through this collaborative, we're going to receive a lot of researchers, a lot of faculty, a lot of students. And our campus is a little bit crowded. What shall we do? And the Cummings were very quick and said, no, let's build something. Let's build something really good to host all your international faculty to the best of its ability. Teachers, faculty, researchers, fellows, students, you name it. And we're going to call it the Global Faculty Centre. Think Ubuntu jointly came up with this name. Here's the history should record this. So this is how the naming of the building came about. The Cummings funded it as part of the Paul Farmer Collaborative, and hopefully next year we are going to see this place crowded with visitors, researchers, faculty, teachers from all over the world. And this is the history behind the construction of the space. Thank you very much, Vee.
And now it's my delight and joy to call upon Dr. Joe Rattigan and Nadine Karema to officially inaugurate the building, to open the building for us. Joe, Nadine. UGHE. The entire UGHE team. Anybody but UGHE.
It's up a bit more than you think.
I just wanted to mention some names that were very instrumental in the creation of the collaborative and this faculty accommodation. I need to mention Dr. Alan Brandt, who was the head of the department at HMS, who took over Paul. His leadership in the negotiations, in the discussions, is so instrumental. I really want history to remember his contribution to where we landed at. The UGHE board, then led by Leslie King and Joe, their contribution, their leadership really deserves mention. Please join me in giving Joe one round of applause. As soon as Jim was appointed as Chancellor of UGHE, our relationship with the Cummings was managed through him. And his leadership, his contribution to where we are now really deserves mention. The discussions with the Cummings took about 3 weeks to complete, from idea conception to the signing of the email. That was the fastest negotiation I've ever been in. The contribution, the leadership of the Dean of Medicine at HMS, Dr. George Daly, how very closely he worked with us, the close understanding we had, and the expedited signing of the agreement really should be recorded by history. And we are very grateful to his contribution. The entire UGHE board department at HMS, all the involved faculty, Bill and Joyce, the CEO, Joyce, of the Cummings Foundation. And then when we started implementing things here, I guess all of you have seen what miracle the team led by Siobhan and Collins did. Our constructions team, infrastructure, security, procurement, the entire staff and faculty really deserves mention. Please join me in thanking all of them. I've already mentioned Joel's huge contribution to this initiative. Please allow me now to welcome Ms. Nadine Karima to welcome you all and say a few words about this partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, friends, faculty, implementers, it is a pleasure for me to be here, and it is with deep appreciation that I'm here in this new family-friendly, cozy center for visiting faculty, because they are our key partners who dedicate their time, skills, and expertise for shaping the next generation of healthcare workers. Today's event is not just an exciting moment for UGHE, but for the broader community of Burera, of Rwanda, and of the medical world. Because it is a good example of partnership between Harvard and the PIH community. That partnership extends to the local community of Burera because our faculty will be teaching, mentoring, training, imparting knowledge to the students, but they'll also impact the lives of the patients, starting from this community, beyond Rwanda, and through the lessons learned in the world. This, as I was telling some, is really a home away from home for faculty to recharge, reflect, and continue the significant work that they're doing. Gone are the days of 2005, 2010, 2012, where Ferney, Bethany, Beppy, Joe slept either on the floor or in bunk beds, in shared rooms, in what we called back then Harvard East, which is Ringwavu, or the birthplace of Partners in Health in Rwanda. So to truly understand the significance of this unveiling, we have to understand the partnership that has existed between Harvard and the PIH family. It is a partnership of more than 20 years, where we wanted to leverage Harvard academic and clinical resources to improve healthcare in underserved communities where we work in Rwanda. Most of the staff from PIH, Ministry of Health, or in the health sector in Rwanda have benefited from that partnership through the Global Health Delivery Partnership that PIH and Harvard have formed, or through the HMS research training and mentorship offered by Bethany and others to strengthen health research in Rwanda and train Rwandan researchers, through the global health delivery courses led by Joe and others in Ringwavu, which also became the birthplace of the UGHE Master of Science in Global Health Delivery. And now the partnership continues. It has expanded into internship opportunities for students in Rwanda, the Paul Farmer Collaboratives, and of course, all of that would have never been possible without our beloved Paul Farmer, whom we call Muganga Mwiza in Kinyarwanda, which is good doctor, who was the co-founder of PIH and UGHE, Colocotronis, sorry if I say it wrong, university professor and chair of the Department of Global Health and Social Medicine at Harvard Medical School. So this new center is more than just a place to stay. It's a tool for faculty. It is a sanctuary for visiting faculty. It is a cozy and welcoming space where they can take a moment, relax, recharge, prepare themselves for the challenges ahead and the rewards of teaching. I appreciate that UGHE has thought about that, because as infrastructure standards have improved in Rwanda, so have the lives of our faculty. So Bethany could come here with her girls versus sleeping on the floor as a single woman from back in the days. And, and this really brings joy, because the strength that the faculty will derive from this place will give them a fresher perspective to continue educating our future doctors and improving patient care. So this is impact beyond housing. And this center is, just like the campus, strategically placed across the hills from the hospital, the Butaro Level 2 teaching hospital, so that even if you come here to recharge, you still remember the patients that you left across the hill. You still remember the communities that you see from your balcony, and you continue to teach and find solutions to improve their health. So as you unwind here and take time to refresh, think about how you can improve the education and healthcare in Rwanda and beyond. So let's build a future together. In closing, I would like to reiterate how grateful we are as one PIH community, because we'll all benefit from this. The collaboration over the years with Harvard has paved the way for an even brighter future, where UGHE medical students will graduate prepared to face the challenges of modern healthcare of the world and focus on improving patients' lives with the high quality care that those patients deserve. And this will make a difference, not just for the students and the patients, but for the entire health system of Rwanda and beyond. So may this new center inspire faculty to keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in medical education and patient care. So I want to thank everybody that's contributed to this work, from the infrastructure team, the procurement team like Phil has highlighted, the designers, the faculty that provided feedback, the people who named the center, the dean who has been key in the partnership and the discussions, the friends and supporters like Dr. Fred Sangor, and other partners who believed that faculty need to feel like they want to stay here, continue strengthening the health system and the education of Rwanda. Murakoze, thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadine. There's one word that we're using quite a lot today, and that's center, as we celebrate the opening of the Ubuntu Faculty Centre. And we have to keep coming back to the center. We have to keep coming back to the middle, to the core, to the essence of what we do, and the essence of this place. And one of the ways that we do that is by invoking the name of Paul Farmer, and just keeping ourselves on track as we work to play out the legacy of Paul Farmer in this place and in many places. And one of our privileges in knowing Paul is that we can't tell our own stories of our own professional lives without calling out the name of Paul Farmer. And the chair of the board of directors, the board of governors of the university, not only shares that privilege of having known Paul as a close friend and colleague, but has recently been awarded the Paul Farmer Chair at the Brigham and Women's in Boston. So you can't mention Joe Rattigan, the name Joe Rattigan, without mentioning the name Paul Farmer. Joe, we're delighted that you're here. You never stop supporting this university. You and I meet every week, every Friday afternoon, and I know that you have many conversations with other people, including Abebe, on a regular basis. Ladies and gentlemen, the chair of the board of directors of the university, the Paul Farmer Chair at Brigham and Women's, Dr. Joe Rattigan.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Phil, for that incredibly generous introduction. I know you're all standing, so I promise you I will be quick, but some thanks are necessary. I would like to thank Bill and Joyce Cummings, whose vision and whose generosity and whose hospitality, a word I hope to return to later, is just so generous, so overwhelming. They've invested at so many different parts of this endeavor that we're all on together. They helped us with the seed money to start the university. They helped us a little later when we needed some help. And then after Paul's passing, they decided that they needed to commemorate his connection to this university with a joint gift to Harvard and UGHE. So Bill and Joyce, thank you so much. I would like to thank the infrastructure team and everyone from the UGHE who worked on making this vision possible. I realized it was a long time coming, and there was a lot of barriers and challenges to face, and the fact that you all were able to persevere and make this happen is just incredible. This is such an amazing space. I think we all who took the tour were just blown away by how beautiful, and the attention to detail, from the paintings to the furniture to the paintings to the stucco on the walls. It's just really beautiful. So thank you so much, and please a round of applause for the infrastructure team. I have to thank the leadership of UGHE, Dr. Phil Cotton, Dr. Joel Wulambigi, Dr. Joel, former Vice Chancellor, Dean Abebe Bekele, and Dean Siobhan, who couldn't be with us. And please, another round of applause for them. I wanted to reflect just briefly with you about the name of this facility. Paul was always very attuned to names and would be very deliberate and oftentimes stubborn about how we name things in the course of our working together. be it like the title of an article or the name over a doorway. Like Paul was he had a great attention to detail when it came to names. He had a great facility for language and loved using language to convey meaning and value, as any of you have read his writings understand. So the Ubuntu Global Faculty Centre, a few things I want to point out to you. What did we decide not to call it? So we did not call it the Ubuntu Global Visiting Faculty Center, right? Because we don't want faculty to just visit. We want faculty to feel part of this institution. We want people to feel that when they come here, they are coming here not so much as visitors, but as participants. We don't want this to be the visiting teaching faculty, because again, we're hoping that folks from across the world will realize the great amount of discovery and innovation that is going on in this hill and come here to learn from us as well as participate in the educational programs. I want to just think to you a little bit about what it means to call it a global faculty center. So one, I think it says to the world that we are opening our arms, that the resources we've been able to secure are not just for the people right here. And I forgot to thank, when I think of the people, I forgot to thank the people of Butaro and Barera district who gave us this land, the government of Rwanda who has supported us throughout this endeavor. The other thing I want to reflect on is we don't talk about the center as for visitors or for guests. This is a gift for UGHE. It's a gift from Bill and Joyce that will allow us to extend our hospitality to the world. It gives us a chance to show the world how generous we are, how welcoming we are. So this is as much a gift for us as for any visitor that comes here. I wanted to reflect on the word hospitality for a minute, because Bill and Joyce have a tremendous hospitality. Any of those of us who have had the opportunity to spend some time with them, they not only cared enough about our university to invest in the buildings and the people, but they also wanted a place for people to come and see the great work that you all are doing. And when I think about hospitality, it goes back to the Latin millennia ago. Basically, the word tries to convey a number of things, not only generosity, but the sense of openness, the sense of welcoming. It is the basis of our word hospital. And to remind you, hospitals didn't exist for millennia. Hospitals came around as we became more urban and started living in cities. When people got sick and their family could no longer care for them, they went to the hospital. And the hospital was a place where nurses, most of all, attended to patients, and then later doctors. And that word hospitality and hospital, I think when we think about our values as healthcare professionals so deeply, this building, even though it seems to be something separate, is so embedded in our mission of being welcoming, being generous, and being a place for people to come. And the final word, which is the hardest one for me, is Ubuntu. So again, Bill and Joyce did not want us to call it the Bill and Joyce Cummings Global Center for Faculty. And I can tell you that probably 99 out of 100 US donors would want their name on this, if not 101 out of 100. So Bill and Joyce did not want that. They wanted something different. They wanted a name to reflect, again, our values and what we care about. And Dr. Joel was instrumental in getting us to call it the Ubuntu Center. As an American, I can only understand Ubuntu through what I read about it. It's an ancient African word. It's translated many different ways in English. Translated as the common bonds of humanity, translated as the common experiences and values that we all share as human, and something more often that I think some of the translations miss is it also captures our interdependence as people. I am because we are. And this notion here that Ubuntu is at the center of what we do, that we're not just a shining city on a hill, but we're rather a place that has its gates open, that opens up its resources to the people of the world to bring health education, and whatever that might be, whether it's pharmacists someday, nurses, doctors, master's students. We want this university to grow. We want this university to be here in 500 years, in 1,000 years, as so many universities in Europe and America strive to be. We will continue to be a place where people can come and see what's going on and the best in healthcare and health education. Thank you.
That was fantastic.
Taking lessons from you.
So thank you very much. Now, we wanted to give a little bit of ourselves and also a little bit of this place as a gift to Bill and Joyce. And so we've taken some of the volcanic stone and created a gift for them. And I'm going to ask Joe to come here because Joe is kindly offered to carry the gift back to Boston and to take the gifts back to Bill and Joyce. Collins, I ask you to come. We have Alex, our Student Guild President, if you want to come and stand here too, Alex. Joe. With deepest gratitude to Bill and Joyce Cummings, your generosity and vision have made the Ubuntu Global Faculty Centre a reality. Your commitment to advancing medical education is an inspiration to all of us. With heartfelt appreciation, the UGHE community. Thank you so much, Joe, for taking that to Bill and Joyce. Those of you who know Bill and Joyce can only imagine their reaction when they receive the next gift, which has been created by local artisans etched in wood. This concludes the end of our time in this place, inaugurating and celebrating this place and its potential. Thank you very much indeed for coming.